Sitting in front of me is a 24-inch all-in-one HP that, according to Microsoft, has outlived its usefulness. No longer upgradable to Windows 11 or anything like that, but is it really? Well, we'll take a look at a couple things. There are some things about this that we'll discuss. I'll tell you how much memory is in it, what use it is. It does have a touchscreen, so that part's cool. All right, now this thing is definitely not the best thing ever to come out of anywhere. But, I mean, it's got an i3-6100, which isn't horrible. It is operating on DDR4 memory, running at 2133, and there is a slot open. We do also know that it has a regular hard drive. It is a 1 terabyte, but it's a hard drive. And I think we can speed that up. Now, the other thing, too, is the Wi-Fi. We're going to have to do something about that. BGN? Goodness. Maybe we can find some X or AC or something somewhere. Now, the good news is, whether it's an M SATA or an M.2, I do have an AC in both of these. They're slightly different, so we won't get quite the same bandwidth, but at least we should be able to get something faster than BG or N. I do not have an AX. I think I put the AX in my laptop, but this is where I got the AC from, and then I've got another one that came out of a Chromebook. So whether it's M SATA or M.2, we should have an option to upgrade the Wi-Fi in that all-in-one as well. Now, as we open up our 24-inch all-in-one, there's some things that become evident. I had to lay this down, panel side down, to get to it, so everything's kind of a little bit backwards, I'm going to say. The motherboard and everything's here. Hard drive is here. This is a full-size hard drive. It's not a small 2.5 inch. It's a definite full-size hard drive here. And 1 stick of memory, which we're going to solve, but we need, there's some cleaning that needs to be done, and we're probably going to have to repaste this as well. So let's get on those little things. I'll have to figure out what to do with the SSD to get it to secure in here. I don't know if there's enough clearance to go ahead and just put it on top of here with some double-sided tape or something. We'll have to see. Maybe I can swap this out or something. I don't know. There are screws where I can take that out, but I don't have a bracket. I don't have an adapter bracket. We'll have to see what happens. Well, I took the cooling fan off, and it looks like the CPU's underneath here. I don't know if I want to mess with all that. It's not a very powerful CPU, and it might be best just to leave it like it is. It looks like it's a pretty decent heatsink. If I can get that fan cleared up and cleaned up, I think that'll be all right. We'll put the other memory in, and we'll figure out what to do about the hard drive, and then we'll go from there. All right, not perfect by any means, but a lot cleaner back there. Got the memory in. Gorilla Tape is so cool. I have to change the Wi-Fi adapter, and then we'll put it all back together. So I realized I wasn't going to be able to keep the hard drive and the SSD both in here, so I just went ahead and put the SSD in. It should be fine in that large cage. It doesn't need it's not going to move around. It should be fine. Everything else is cleaned up. I got memory in here. I've got everything else going good. The new Wi-Fi card over here. Over here. So we'll see. We'll let her go. Yep, Crucial 500 gig. Have I mentioned I like the touchscreen? Check that out. Running at 2133. We're in good shape. We know the Wi-Fi works. Heck yeah. Good to go now. All right, to be fair, this is not going to set any land speed records. It's an all-in-one from several years back. It's still got 2 cores. It's not going to be great, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay for what it is. And we gave it some more life. We put some more memory in it. We updated the Wi-Fi and all that stuff, and it'll be just fine. So, 2 core, 4 thread. At least it's got 4 thread. Anyway, let me we'll talk about this a little bit, wrap this thing up, and maybe this gets a little bit more life. It's good for web browsing and email and all that stuff, at least. Now, this thing is by no means anybody's gift to electronics or computing, but the simple fact of the matter is it runs. It's still on Windows 10, but we can put the long-term service edition or Linux on there. The only thing I'm worried about Linux, the touchscreen. I don't know if the touchscreen driver will still work the same, but I know the LTSC version of Windows will. We can even use the IoT version. I know it would work with that. So we do have a Windows version we can put back on there if we need to. We updated the Wi-Fi. It went from about 40 megabits per second up to about 400. I did have some issues and still am having some issues putting an SSD in there for some reason. Yeah, I might get that sorted out. I do have, for the time being, I've got the 1 terabyte drive in there. It's a 7200 speed, so it's not horrible. It does slow things down quite a bit, especially when you're starting up. Now, once all the Windows updates and all that stuff got done, it was still okay, but it's an older computer, so nobody might miss having an SSD in it, but I would much rather be able to keep an SSD. I did go back and check the SSD and another one to make sure, but there was something, it blue screens more often than it does with that hard drive, and so I put the hard drive back in. The memory I also had a little bit of an issue with. The memory I got didn't work in there, so I had to put a different stick of memory in, but it's fine. So I do have the 2 slots of memory. They're both downclocked. Well, one of them downclocked from 2400 to 2133. The other one was already at 2133. That's the max that will do, and that's quite all right. It's fine for what it is. Have I mentioned I like the touch screen? That in itself was pretty cool. But this thing, I mean, it's not great, but it's got a little bit more life. It's got a couple of cores on it. I mean, it's not going to game because it's using integrated graphics. But for web browsing, somebody checking their email, or just general purpose, maybe streaming or whatever. You can stream games on it, though. I tried that a couple of years ago when Cyberpunk first came out. 4 or 5 years ago now. Wow, time flies. I can stream from my main rig to that using the Steam Stream, I guess, feature is what you might call it, where I can stream from another PC, which would be this one, over to that one. It's a 24-inch screen, so it's a little bit, it's a decent-sized screen. I can use a just regular controller if I want to, and it works out pretty well. The big thing I did like was that it was very easy to swap over that Wi-Fi adapter. I took that Wi-Fi adapter out of my notebook when I put the upgrade in it, and yeah, it works out pretty well. Now, I don't need 1 gig Wi-Fi in that computer. But what it's getting now, about 300 megabits or between 3 and 4 is fine with that. It's not going to harm it. It'll be just fine. And overall, this thing's working again. At one point, it was completely DOA. I swapped out the battery for the BIOS, and I was able to just clean a few things up and tinker with it. But when I opened it up and I showed all the dust and dirt and all that stuff, I had not cleaned any of that out yet. It looks much better on the inside, trust me. Nobody's going to be looking on the inside, but it's in much, much better shape anyway. So, yeah, I just thought I had it. It was sitting here. I couldn't figure out what I was going to do with it. I thought I would take one last stab at it to see if I couldn't fix it before I did something with it or donated or just got rid of it or took it to recycle. And lo and behold, I was able to get it running. And then I said, hey, why not go ahead and upgrade it? I already did one totally unnecessary laptop upgrade. Why not do a totally unnecessary all-in-one upgrade? Turns out pretty good. Now, it didn't cost me a whole lot of money. I think the hard drive was $20-something. It's going to be more now. The memory is DDR4. I think that would cost me $22 or $24. Still, so compared, I swapped it out with a different stick. But still, we're for what would have been about $40, $45, and a couple hours worth of work and some cleaning. We bring it back to life, and it's working pretty well. Somebody will get some use out of it. I'm sure somebody will. Anyway, that is all I have. If you got anything out of the video at all, found it interesting, or just thought, oh, wow, I didn't even know HP really made all-in-ones anymore. Yeah, throw a like on the video if you don't mind. If you're not already subscribed, please do. That would be wonderful, and I'd appreciate it very much. Trying to get to 2,000 and 3,000 and beyond. Shorts, for some reason, are doing pretty well right now. Long videos are still okay, but I would appreciate it. If you made it here to the end and don't mind throwing a like on it. Subscribe if you're not already. Maybe even check out the socials. That'd be cool too. But if you don't do any of that stuff, I sure would appreciate one thing, and that's just be good to each other. Doesn't cost a whole lot to be kind. It's absolutely free, as a matter of fact. Might make somebody's day. It might even make your day. You never know. Anyway, that is all I have. So until I get myself into something I got no business getting into, and there's a lot still over there in that pile. That's it for today. So I'll see you later.